Go ahead.
Hey,
Go
hey,
ahead.
hey, and
Hey,
welcome
we all
to
live and we all acting
You,
funny all in
Me,
the
and the
backstage.
Tree, the locker room, the mind of a man. Usually I am not on here, but the fellas been acting up all week. The fellas been acting up all week.
Don't be like that. Don't be
So
like that.
your girl got a plot twist for him tonight. But Coach J Hart, this is mostly for you. So go ahead and do what you do, but I'm coming right back. You gonna introduce your panelists?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I mean, because this is your plot twist and stuff, and I knew something was about to happen, man. And so, good evening, good evening, good evening, man. Welcome to Mind of a Man. This is a plot twist edition, and I figured when she said it was a plot twist that she was gonna be on off and on throughout the day. But that's cool. That's cool. We're gonna do a little bit different, man. If you guys don't have any outside noise, you guys can actually leave your mics unmuted because I want everybody to get the feel of just being able to say what they want to say in respect of everybody else, man, one at a time. We're going to get this thing popping and started. I am him and I, and I'm going to pass it on to my, you know what? We're going to let Rodney go first since he was like one of the last ones to come on. We're going to let Rodney go first.
Y'all don't like ugly. Y'all don't like ugly.
Victor,
I
you can
am
go after him.
Rodney Courtney. I am from Harrisburg, North Carolina. I'm very interested. I'm very interested in this plot twist. And that's me. I mean, I don't know what else everybody want to know.
All right. My name is Victor Patterson. I pastor in Palm Bluff, Arkansas. I pastor the great church known as Cherry Street Memorial AME Zion Church. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. So I'm from the Midwest. I believe everybody else is from down south, which is nothing wrong with that. But I'm just here to give my input and be in fellowship with my brothers here. Go Chiefs. We just won. So I'm happy about that as well.
I'm Burrell from Atlanta, Georgia. I am associate minister at New Life Presbyterian Church, and I also have a role with the Full Gospel Fellowship as the international director over Men of Prayer for the state of Georgia. But I'm excited, and I really look forward to having this conversation in the locker room. Thank you for having me.
We lost one. I think we got one that might be showing up late, but we are going to get started. But let me introduce myself for the ones that do not know me. Don't know how you don't know me, and we've been rolling for a couple of weeks. So, hey, he is I am him. My name is Coach J, man. I am a part of You, Me, and the Trinity, man. I am glad and elated that you guys decided to show up and show out for this Mind of a Man special plot twist edition. I keep looking up, and there's a woman in the locker room, and I don't know how she got here. I don't know if she's supposed to be
I don't know
cleaning
how. Who
or
left the gate
throwing
open?
towels away. Oh God, wait, there's another
Oh,
one.
we got two. We got
Oh,
two.
there's two. Oh God.
Plot twist, baby.
Man, get the
Okay.
heck out of here. It's
Okay.
cool. It's cool. It's cool. So we gonna get this started. We're gonna get this started. First question. First question.
Hold on. Let me introduce my girl, Candace
No,
from
this
She
my fault.
Speaks. You can catch us next week too. But I had to get a little help because y'all been acting up. So I had to bring in some backup. Candace, don't introduce yourself to the
Hey
men
y'all,
folk.
so it's me, Chaplain Candace, Pastor Candace, Author Candace, it's just Candace. I'm here to have fun with y'all. I guess I'm the plot twist. So we gonna crank it up. I got all the questions for y'all. We're gonna have a good time. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a part of the Spirit of Love Life Empowerment International ministry, and I'm just really excited to be here. I don't even know what's going on myself, but let's do it.
Somebody mute her mic already. She already hyped. Just mute her mic already.
Don't mute yours.
Anyway, so can I do the first question then?
I get just the first. No, because it's ladies first.
This ain't even your
Sorry.
show.
Sorry. Sorry. Well, this is the question for the men, okay? This is what the people would want to know today. So let's start with you, Coach J Hart.
Don't start with me. Don't nobody want to know the answer but you. Shoot, come on, people want to
Let's
know.
start with you, and then we'll get a little help from Mr. Victor Patterson. All right. So, first question. In a time where women outnumber society's definition of an eligible bachelor, are women still considered the prize, or are men now the prize? You on mute, Brother Victor.
You want me to answer that first?
Yes, I'm letting you handle that one.
Oh, thank you, Victor. I appreciate that for passing the baton on to me. No, let me be honest. The Bible still says, "He that findeth a wife." Nowhere did it change just because society changed. It changed to say, "She that findeth a husband." So the wife is still yet the prize. I Let me apologize for the lack of eligible bachelors. Let me apologize because we have fallen short of who we supposed to be for you all. And we have not, and we are still yet climbing that ladder to be what we need to be for you all. However, men will never be the prize because you are our helpmeet.
Ooh.
And without you, honestly, we can do not as much as we can with you. Um, I, I'm trying to skate. Hey, Rodney, I'm trying to skate on this one.
Mhm.
But
I'm trying to know you. I'm trying to know
I'm gonna
you.
help you out. I'm gonna help you out, Jay.
Mm.
The Bible does say a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and he that findeth a good thing findeth favor in the sight of the Lord. So the women are our favor. Unfortunately, this current day of dating and pursuing has, especially in the Western culture, has made dating and especially marriage into something that is not. In the Western culture, we are told that you shouldn't marry someone or value someone or pursue someone if you don't love them. We see commercials like "Every Kiss Begins with K." We see, people say, "Well, you don't know that person long enough to say this is a prize," and things of that nature. But when we look at the context of relationship and marriages in the Bible, we can see that it wasn't what we do today. And there it was called arranged marriages, right? So they worked together, they valued each other because they didn't know anything about each other, and they worked towards love. And love is the ultimate goal of every relationship, is to be loved. But when we look at it from our perspective, then look at it from a biblical perspective, we can see why we are in the situation that we are in today. I also would like to say, when we look at the Adam and Eve situation, because that's the first relationship that we see between men and women. When we look at that, we like Jay said, that women are our helpmate. But when we look at that particular thing, we have to realize that although women are our helpmate, that men we feel our helpmate. And what I mean by we feel our helpmate is when we look at the third chapter of Genesis, in the first verses, we see the enemy approaching the woman. He didn't approach Eve. Eve didn't get her name until like the 22nd, 23rd, 24th verse up in the third chapter. He approached the woman, and in the second chapter, we was given a job as men, which was to cultivate, which means was to name everything in our kingdom. So our responsibility is also to name the women that's in our kingdom. But Adam forgot to name that woman, and because he forgot to name that woman, there was a way that the enemy could attack. sometimes the enemy attacks the people that he can get to the person that he wanted to. And because he didn't name her, that she still wanted to have life. She still wanted to see something, but she didn't realize that there's a difference between being a woman and being Eve. There's a difference between a name and not having a name. So he played on the reference of that we left untapped, which was to name her. So the sin happened because we didn't do what our job was, which is to help our helpmate. So yes, the women is still our most prized possessions and things of that nature. Not like we own them or anything, but our dating, because of Western culture, has made it into something that it shouldn't be into.
We almost own them. Almost. Not quite. Almost though. Now I don't know where she
I
went.
believe that.
You good? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that we have to understand what prize is. The issue, of course, is that when looking at a woman as our favorite, looking at a woman as our prize, we have to make sure that we don't get caught in the physical or the physicality or the lustful desire of what prize is and what women allow us to get away with. So in that case, it's not that women are no longer the prize, it's that men are not willing to fight to make sure they go and do what they need to get what's worth willing to fight for. So we settle for what allows us to do what we want to do and accept that as a prize. And then that's why you have so many, to me, princesses or queens who can't find a man because there's so many guys who would rather let a woman allow them to do the bare minimum to be the woman that's never even supposed to be for them in the first place. And women who don't set the standard and say, this is what you have to do to make sure that I'm your prize. See, women forget at the end of the day, you're the prize. So I have to step my game up to you. You should never dumb yourself down or allow yourself to marginalize yourself to appease what you think you want out of me. Then I'm just not the man for you. And I think when women start saying, hey, I am the prize, I am the jewel, scripture says when you find me, you find what gets you to the next level, then it stops. One of my biggest inspirations is Barack Obama. Him and Michelle went to a restaurant and they saw Michelle's old boyfriend. And he said, man, what would have happened if you had married that guy? And she said, oh, he would have been the president of the United States. Period, point blank. She knew what her qualities were. And once you know what your qualities are, it doesn't matter what the man brings to the table because he's going to make sure, if we want to go scripturally, when you look at a young man like Jacob, and I'm out of here, when you look at a young man like Jacob who sat there and was a trickster and a subplanner, which is the basis of his name for majority of his life, and one woman made him change his destiny because he said, that's the woman. I'm willing to change my name from Jacob to Israel. And when a man finds the woman that he's willing to change for, it's not the woman that makes him change. It's the fact that he knows that he's connected to his favor that makes him change. And I think that's what I'm out of here.
He kind of they both say.
He preaching. So hey,
Tie
can I
my
ask this
shoe,
question?
tie
I don't
my
know if I'm
shoe,
out
tie
of
my shoe.
Wait, so does it mean that a woman needs to know her worth? Because what happens when a woman doesn't know her worth?
Yes, she does. Yes, she definitely needs to know her worth. She definitely needs to know who she is, who she is. She needs to know what she brings to the table, but she also needs to love and respect herself because if she don't love and respect herself, how can I do what she don't do? And even if I do it, she won't be able to accept it because she doesn't understand what's actually happened. She knows it's a good thing, but she's going to push him away because it's something foreign and unfamiliar to her. But Miss Candace, is that okay?
Listen, let's just go on to the next question. I didn't know y'all was gonna preach like that on the first question. Y'all, did y'all not get to preach this morning? Cause y'all preaching today, this afternoon. Okay,
I
so
didn't. I had to work.
you had to work. Oh, okay. So
I'm at work.
are men coachable / trainable as they
Oh,
want
you
their
will not give her my question.
huh?
Oh, you will not give her my question. Oh, me and you fighting after this show, homie.
I'm saying this is the questions. Are men coachable? Do y'all think y'all are coachable like y'all want y'all spouses to be? Are y'all coachable? Rodney, Courtney.
I was hoping you would pick me. I was
Yeah.
hoping you would pick me. First off, I think men are very coachable. I think that's what we do. We cater to a woman that we want. Adversely, and this is going to be a hard pill for some women to swallow, we don't cater to women that we don't want. Somebody, it's an old story that says, I think maybe a comedian or a preacher, somebody said if a man finds you worthy or worth something, he will take the time to take papers out on you. If he love a dog, he gonna take papers out on that dog so that if it gets stolen, they know it's his. If he love a car, he gonna go take papers out on that car, i.e. insurance, bill of sale, because he's gonna want people to know that's his car. He like a house, he's gonna take papers out on that house, i.e. close on that house, and make a note, a mortgage payment on that house, because he wants people to know that's his house. So if he hadn't took papers out on you, you ain't the one. And if he's not changing for you, you ain't the one.
Tabo. Ooh, Shana.
Can't come off mute. Okay. Coachable. So that means that you're coachable.
Exactly. Because we a real man will cater to his woman. Boys say, I'm stuck in my ways. That's A real man will say, what do you like? And then I'm going to do what you like.
Mr. Owens, can I call you Mr. Owens?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. So can you give me an example of how you yourself would call yourself trying to coach a woman? Like, what are some things that you would try to coach a woman to do to be a better woman for you?
I think communication is essential in any relationship. For I believe it is the means by which we express our needs to each other. And so I can just think of an example would be me going to the store with my wife. When I want to dress her, I want her to know what it is that not only she may feel comfortable with, but what I feel compliments me and speaks of the direction that we want to go, or the presentation that we want to make as a couple. I think that communicating in that respect honors both her desire, her likes, her preferences, but it also satisfies my desire and my need to, set a definition to what I feel we have, where we want to go. And so I think if you express the things you like, you appreciate in a healthy and constructive way, you two would be able to share with one another these things that make you both better, that make you both stronger and complementary to one another.
Now, would you agree that sometimes it's a little bit harder for men to come out of their ways a little bit? Some women like to do what they call upgrade a man, to get them out them overalls or get them out that t-shirt and that hat. Beyonce said she
I was just about to say that. Everybody's trying to be Beyonce.
Introduce you into some purple labels. You get what I'm saying? But you all, please explain, why is it so hard sometimes to get you all to get out of your comfort zone when it comes to dressing, since that's the example that you use?
She hadn't upgraded Jay-Z yet. But,
Hey, Shana, say it. Yada da. Say that.
Come on, prophet.
I beg to differ, but go on.
Okay, but I think you have to just be a little. Women have to learn a little patience with men because, like I said, I think you have to respect each other's identity with that, and it's a really rough, kind of slippery slope because it's hard to really find that common ground at times when we may have deep connection, deep affection, but yet we express ourselves differently as it relates to fashion and apparel and appeal. That could cause a little static, but I think you should be open to one another, because if I say something to you as far as it goes with, this is what I like, this is what I think you look, even more dazzling or beautiful in, or if she says to him, this is what I feel just really just sets you off, it really, does something for you, then I think we should be willing to do what it takes to keep that flame. I want you to look at me that in a certain way. So therefore, if I want you to keep your eyes on me, I'm gonna have to at least listen to some of what you say. As it relates to my appearance, but I want you to want me. I don't want you to be looking over here, over there. I want you to keep your eyes on me. And so you have to listen and hear one another and do what it takes to make it work in that respect. Ben,
keep them on me, Doc. Keep them on me.
I love it.
It's a balance. It's a balance. That's all it is. It's a balance. Everybody has to have a give and take. It can't be one-sided, and you have to realize that you're with that person, so you should always want to be attractive to that person. Don't no woman want their man to look old and busted while she's looking fresh and clean. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a balance. I hate it. I hate getting dressed up. But my ex-wife was like, "But babe, we about to go here. You can't always wear your flip-flops everywhere now, babe. You got to put on some shoes now." So I had to oblige what she said, and I had to make her look, because every woman wants a man to look good on her arm, just like every man wants a woman to look good on her arm. And if you're trying to keep her, there's some things that you're going to have to do. There's going to be some things you're going to have to give up. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to change in order to keep her happy, because if you don't keep her happy, Jimmy down the street will definitely keep her happy. If you don't keep her happy, Stanley at work is going to keep her happy. And if you don't want Stanley or Jimmy keeping your woman happy, you might want to make the necessary changes to make sure that you are okay and make sure that you are loving her the way she needs to be loved, because we can always go back to the love languages. I'm done.
Coach, where we send
Look,
the
hold
offering?
on, wait, hold on. This is
Where we
my
send the
show, and I
offering,
normally
Coach?
don't do all this talking. So this whole changing thing that she got going on here is, I ain't feeling it. Y'all gonna let y'all talk. I'm done.
I just want to know where we send the offering.
I was just playing the organ for you, brother. Dun, dun. All right. What does it take for a man to really be ready to settle down?
You really gonna take all my questions and give it to her to ask us? That's what you gonna do? This is not funny. Oh, we beefed after this one.
Yes, we are.
Come on. Who got answer? What does it take?
Rodney?
Well, different strokes for different folks. So let me say that. What does it take for me personally? First, we got to be on the same level. And I'm not just talking about the same financial level or educational level. I'm talking about she got to be on the same spiritual level as me. When I say, babe, we're going to faith walk it, I don't need you to be like, okay, but what's plan B? Plan B is the faith. Plan C is the faith. Plan D is the faith. So on and so forth. So if you're going to be worrying and all that stuff, then pass. Next slide.
I think for me, I think one of the things. Oh, go ahead. Hello.
Go ahead, B. You got it.
We can hear you.
But I was gonna say, I think one of the things that helps with settling down, there isn't a thing that makes men settle down. I mean, there's no way you can do something to make a man settle down. What happens in a man is we look for quality. I think what Pastor said is amazing, because that is literally it. When you find a woman who's willing to say, hell or high water, if we got to start at the trenches and I got your back, that's really all a man wants. If I got to prove myself every week to you that I love you and I'm one of you, it's confusing to us because it's like, hey, we might not be in the same place, right? So for me, I think it's important that we understand, hey, I might not be in the place where I can take you to Rude Chris this week. But if you rock with me, I promise you'll never want for nothing again. But the problem is always finding women who are okay with you when you are at your lowest and saying I'm gonna rock with you. And understanding that just because I'm at my lowest, if I have potential now, that I'm gonna keep it going. Because I think sometimes too, women get it confused because they think, oh, ride or die is me taking care of a man. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's saying you see where I'm at, and I promise you, if you got my back, we won't be here long. I think that's, for me, that's the sign that I know this is the person I'm supposed to settle down with, for me.
For
Mr.
me,
Bradford?
Look with your hand.
hey, I'm having technical difficulties over here, but I would say for me, I'm just gonna be in a transparent moment. I love women, right? I love women, and I've been with my fair share. I've been with my fair share. But what when I know I'm ready to settle down is when I don't think about no other woman but that woman I'm with. I've been in relationships where I was in a relationship and still thought about other women that I had been with prior. I tried to compare them with each other, and those relationships never worked because I was trying to compare someone into something that they was never what it was or who they were never was. But when I found the right one, everything that I thought about prior, all the women that I thought about prior didn't faze me because I was all in, because this woman had my nose open, or this woman has my nose open, that I'm willing to do anything. Just like a man can change a woman can change a man. But for me, I had to know, or I know when it was the right woman is when I was ready to give up everything else, all the other women, for this one woman.
Well, listen, what has to be in place? This is another part of the question, okay? So Rodney mentioned that, I think it was Rodney, but somebody said that they don't have to be on the same educational level or financial level.
It was me. It
A
was
couple
me.
of weeks ago when the ladies was talking, one of the ladies was saying, well, yes, you know, he does. He needs to have a degree. He needs to have a master's because that's what I have. So how do you fellas feel about that? As far as a woman, what does she need to have? Like, you can't say, you know, she don't have to have nothing. You know, let's be for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does a woman need to have in order for you to settle down with her? Let's be real transparent right now. Oh, y'all quiet. Y'all don't know.
I'm gonna let Pastor Lamar answer this one because he just got on. We're gonna pass this one on to him, and then I'm gonna ask Vince to answer that question because he looked like he got a lot to say up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Vince answer this one, and then my brother B is gonna go ahead and answer it because I'm gonna pass on this one. Hallelujah. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let me apologize, first of all, for my tardiness because of certain circumstances. But one thing I would say that it's a pleasure to be on this platform. But the question is, what does she need to have? I think, number one, she would need to have a willingness of heart. If there's a willingness of heart, everything else will work itself out. I believe that that's my personal preference. That if she has the mind to want to do, everything else will come in due time, because that's part of the man's responsibility to nurture and to guide and to lead in both ways, not only spiritually, but as it relates to growing physically as well. So there has to be a willingness of a mind and an everyday choice of saying, okay, today I'm ready to be better than I was yesterday.
I would say it all goes back, like you were saying earlier, to someone's personal preference. As he captioned, it's about personal preference, because some people, I think it works on both ends, male and female. Some would prefer that someone be on the same educational level, financial level, for maybe sometimes it could be various reasons as to why someone feels that way. I personally think it's by way of preference. I believe, as the brother was saying, if you have the drive, the will to pursue your goals, maybe it's not post-secondary education. Maybe the depth of your talents are not degree based. Maybe it's based on a skill, something that you have that is $1 million idea that will materialize over time. And I have to make up in my mind, am I willing to walk with you on that journey, and as much as you're willing to walk with me on my educational journey? That's the way me and my wife have supported each other. We've had fluctuations. I've been high, she's been low. It's just that person willing to walk with you. And as we motivate each other, listening to what we want to do, listening to what we want to pursue, I think we end up building that support system that we need. So at the end of the day, she's with me with my goals, my ambitions, and I'm standing with her. And I think that's what you need at the end of the day with each other.
Let me just chime in, and I'll say this. I'll say this before we get to the next question that I gave Ebony to give to Miss Candace. So
Shade.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I'll say this.
You're being such a hater tonight. You're not being a good sport at all. I just want to make sure you realize that we will be talking about this.
Hey man, look, this show is called Mind of a Man, and somehow this plot twist is not feeling manly to me. That's all I want to say. It don't feel like a
we just
man would
asking
did
y'all
this
some
plot twist.
questions. It's all manly. You a hater.
Anyway, let me answer
Yeah.
this question.
My
So,
opinion tonight.
so I'll answer the question like this. I don't know what she needs until I know what I need. And once I figure out me, once I get the kinks out of me, once I work on me, once I get me down pat, once I start to understand who I am, whose I am, where I'm going, where I want to be in 5 years, where I want to be in 10 years, where I want to be in 15 years, until I figure all those things out, until I fall on my face and ask God, Lord, I don't want what I was looking for. I want what you have for me. Then and only then will I actually know what I really, really, truly desire and want and need in a wife. Because I can say what I want and need right now, and it's totally opposite of what God is calling for me to have in my life. Because right now, I'm not looking spiritually. I'm not gonna lie. Shoot, face and body first, but that's flesh. I'm not gonna lie, that's all fleshly. So I need to make sure that if I'm really truly looking for a wife, I need to truly look inside of me and say, Jonathan, where are you? Who are you? What flaws do you need to work on? What areas of forgiveness you need to work on? What truth you need to have about yourself? What do you need to work on spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially before you try to go and grab somebody's daughter or granddaughter and say, I want to marry her? Because we have ran into these people's houses and said, I want to marry your daughter, I want to marry your granddaughter. And we would toe up from the flow up and almost had to throw up because we just wanted what we wanted and we didn't get what we needed, because your wants should never surpass your needs, because what you want will change, because men are fickle just like females are fickle. We are fickle as well. So that want that I had will wither up and dry away like them dry old bones. And I'll be looking for something or looking at something else. That's true. So I don't know who I want, and I don't know what I want, and I don't know who I need until I figure out what God needs me to be for me. I'm done.
Can I add something, Coach?
That's good. That's good.
Can I add something? I just want to kind of piggyback off what Coach just said. I was just on the airplane yesterday, coming back to Arkansas for church this morning, and when I was on the plane, the stewardess gave us instructions on in case things happen to us that we need to prepare ourselves in order to get off of the plane and as safely as we knew how. And there was a part of this instruction that she pulled down this oxygen mask off first, right? And this oxygen mask, she said, if this oxygen mask come off, that means that you need to secure your own oxygen mask before you can help somebody else. So what I'm trying to say right now in this moment is that we have found ourselves as men not securing our own oxygen mask, because one of the hardest things to do as men is tell ourselves the truth, because we worry about what everybody else's expectation is for us. And because we worry about what everybody else's expectation for us, we create ourselves what you call an identity crisis. We try to be something that we're not. We trying to become something that we was never purposed to be. And when that identity crisis causes us to stress, that stress leads us to depression. That depression leads us to despair, where we want to kill ourselves, knowing that there's over 1 trillion million people here in the world, but we found a way to want to kill ourselves because we feel like we are not worth anything. And because we're not that, we try to kill ourselves, right? But one thing I've learned, that even in securing my own oxygen mask, that the way that I had to secure was by looking in the mirror. Sometimes when we look in the mirror, we look in the mirror to get the crap out of our face or to brush our teeth and things of that nature. But when we look deeply into the mirror, we can tell ourselves the good, the bad, and the ugly. And once we begin to tell ourselves the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything else in our life starts to unchange. So the things that we used to do, we don't do those things anymore. The things that we used to value, we don't value those things anymore. And once we begin to know who we are and securing ourselves, the women for us comes automatically. So that's why I would like to add with what Coach was saying.
Can I just chime just 1 second? I hate to be the superficial one of the group, but
Jesus.
what does a woman need in order to settle down? That was your question, Kiss?
No,
That was your question?
The question was, what has to be in place in order for,
Okay.
like, what does a woman have to have in place in order to settle down?
I would say physical appearance.
Okay. So are looks more important than compatibility?
Coach, stop, Coach.
Really?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the last, this is the last thing y'all gonna hear from me. So are looks more important than compatibility?
No.
Absolutely.
Come on, be real. Who said no?
That's what you just said.
Who did?
I said no.
The pastor.
And the reason why I say no is because everything that stands up eventually is going to sit down. And
Oh my.
You know, you have to have more than just the physical. And so I think we have to look beyond this right here, because as we mature, there's a bald-headed man that's in the mirror. He looks just like you. There's a woman who's going to have to stand up so that everything else can sit down. She looks like, okay, all right, let me leave that where it is. And so we have to move beyond that. And we have to make sure that our connection is more than physical, but it has a mental, because everything that we do is more about the mind. So really, I have to be intimate mentally before I can be intimate physically, and before I can tap into any of that other stuff. Because truthfully, if we are honest with each other, before we tap in to say anything with the female or however it has been, we know within the first matter of minutes what's what. Come on, let's be real. And that's the physical. But you have to move beyond that, because after that, then what? I'm sorry. All right.
You preaching, Doc.
No,
You preaching.
hey, you preaching, but I think Cassandra got a question for Rodney. It says, so you want to find airhead?
No, I was actually looking at the scripture reference, since we, the locker room, but we got to put some Jesus in the locker room. Bible says in 2 Samuel 11, verse 2. Late one afternoon, after his midday's rest, David got out of the bed and was walking on the roof. Looked over the city. He noticed a woman of unusual beauty taking a bath. Help me, Jesus. Did not say, noticed a fine, educated woman reading a book.
She was started.
Did not say.
You're so wrong.
It did not say any of this intellectual stuff, which is good. By the way, now, please understand, I'm not trying to say one is big and the other was small. What I'm saying is keeping it real. I need something that I can look at every morning and be happy.
Rodney, I agree. Rodney, I agree with you that you can't be with someone that's ugly, but looks only get you to a certain point. You know what I'm saying?
I let them get me to that point.
I love a beautiful woman, right?
Yeah.
Real, but I realized that I had some of the most beautiful women that you can think of, right? But there was still something lacking. And that was that was that spiritual side. That was that knowledge. Me, I'm a fiend for knowledge. I'm a fiend for education. I'm a fiend for. I'd rather have a mental orgasm than a physical one. Although I don't mind a physical orgasm, but if I'm not getting stimulated in the mental, they ain't gonna never be nothing in the physical.
That's
so
where
the woman can look good, but there's still got to be something else.
But what's wrong with having both? See, I don't want no ugly intellectual.
I think
I don't want. Vince, can you please help Rodney? Vince, please help Rodney.
Well, I think that's the foundation. If I'm going to pursue someone, I definitely have to have a interest in their physique.
That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say, Pastor.
David was on the balcony and he sent word to the God, I got to have her. But when Boaz looked at Ruth, he asked a question. He asked him, "Whose damsel is this?"
Yeah.
Who are you?
and so it just has to. You have to have. I think that's the foundation there. That lets me go and see. Okay, where did you go to school? Okay, what are your goals? I said, but the foundation of that is looking and seeing. What I'm. Hey, you caught my attention. So yeah, I agree. That's
Exactly.
a big part.
Let me just say. Let me just say this. I don't know if y'all looking at these comments down here, man. They said y'all want a fine dummy. Y'all want a dumb airhead. I mean, I ain't gonna say they, Rodney. Yeah. All these comments are about you, bro. That's what I want to say. All these comments are about you.
This is what I'm saying, right? She can. Listen. I'm here for all the intellectual talks, all the spirituality talks, all that, because again, I'm not going to expect something from you that I'm not willing to give myself. And so if I'm not your cup of tea, let's not pretend like I am. And if you're not my cup of tea, I'm not going to pretend like you are. The looks,
I totally agree.
How you look is what's going to make me say, okay, that's what's up. So what do you think about climate change? What do you think about political affairs? What do you think about all these different things? Because if you looking like a mud duck, I don't care what your view is.
Hey, Rodney, I'm
gonna interject real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Candace, thank you for coming on. We're gonna let them have this.
Thank you, Candace.
I agree with you. There has to be
some
type of attraction, right? It has to be some type of attraction to make you go out there and want to know anything else about that particular person, right? I get that, right? But sometimes we mess our own selves up because when we know that that situation or this woman's not right for us, we still stay there because she's attractive.
No, I'm not with that.
Attractiveness only gets us to a certain point. Especially all of us being in ministry in some type of capacity, right? So not only are we marrying for ourselves, me being a pastor, I'm also marrying for my ministry.
Right.
I'm also marrying for someone that can add richness to my ministry. And you can't add richness to my ministry if you just look good.
That's true. That's true.
Sure no. But here's the thing. And I'm looking at all these comments and stuff, and they're like, "Oh man, Samson got with Delilah, and she was sexy, but she was dumb." And I get it. I get it. And no, we're not saying that physical. Well, most of us are not saying physical attributes is everything.
Like that. Don't be like that. Go.
but what we are saying is, I mean, because everybody that's married and stuff, you didn't marry nobody ugly. I'm for sure you didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna walk down this aisle and marry this ugly dude right here because he strokes my ego and he's intellectual and stuff. Y'all didn't say that.
Exactly.
You were impressed by everything about him. You was impressed about everything about her and stuff. So I get it. No, most of us on here are not looking at looks. It is something to want. Definitely. I don't think anybody's going to beat somebody in the face and say, "Come on, let's walk down this aisle." We're not doing that. However, that's not all we're saying we want. That's it. Where's my Medusa? You know what? You know what, Brumby? I don't like you right now, man. But we're not saying that. But we are saying that the physical, right? Y'all see, they still talking about this mud duck y'all
Do you
talking
take this
about.
mud duck to be your lover already?
No, but she has to be appealing to us. She has to be appealing to our eyesight. She has to be appealing to. Let's be honest. We all men. She got to be appealing to our flesh.
That's what
Let's just be real.
That's all
She
I'm
got to
saying.
be appealing
That's
to our
all
flesh.
I'm
She because you like you said, you're not turning around to this one chick and be like, "Hey, you ugly, but you appeal to my softer side." We're not saying that, because when we turn around, we like, "Oh, she look and smell good." Because I've walked past some women and that smell caught me before I seen their face.
me, Jesus.
That Victoria don't tell nobody hit my nose. That thing hit my nose like, oh Jesus! Wait, what is that? And then you follow, But I, anywho,
Hey, let me
I
ask you,
digress.
Coach. Let me ask you: Do you think we miss our blessing because it might not come in the package that we wanted to
Yeah,
come into?
yeah, yes. I think all of us can attest that we missed out on something good because it didn't appeal to a certain side, and or it didn't come in a shape, form, or fashion that we wanted it to come in. Maybe she was a little bit bigger, maybe she was a little bit taller, maybe she was a little bit skinnier, maybe she was too light, maybe she was too dark, maybe her voice was deeper than yours. I don't know, but, but I think all of us missed out on
Where you
something.
going tonight?
I mean, listen.
Hey, be like this, Rodney, where you about to go?
Rodney ain't going for that.
You going downstairs?
I don't care how intellectually deep you are. I don't care if your prayers move mountains. If your voice deeper than Micah, next slide.
Rodney ain't going for that. Hey, Coach. I asked that question because I'm gonna be a devil advocate right quick, right? Being a pastor, I realized, especially down south. I'm not from down south, but being pastoring down south, I realized that a lot of women here down south, especially in Arkansas, dream is to be a pastor's wife, and and I see these men of God. I ain't gonna lie, with some ugly ducklings. And I wonder.
Don't lie, Reverend. Don't lie.
I wonder how does that happen? Especially when we know that women, not all women, but most women, especially if you're in the church, go like that position of authority and would love to be with a pastor. They're just being real. And so I always wonder, how do these men end up with these hindrance women sometimes? And maybe I'm wrong, but I just wanted to know.
I'll say this. I'll say this, and don't let the pastor hit this one. Don't let my brother Vince hit this one. I'm not gonna lie. It was the Holy of Spirit. That's what that was. Because God intervened in that one. You be like, bro, really? her sister was cuter though, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna pass it to the pastor on this one because he didn't took his glasses off.
Y'all about to get me in trouble.
Oh, trust me, we trying.
But listen, let me say this. I know that it was said. I remember hearing growing up. They would say when you marry, as they would tell young men, when you marry upward. They would say marry upward. Marry above you. I was one. I didn't really agree with that. I mean, I'm not looking for a trophy. If you hear what I'm saying, I'm my own masterpiece. And anything that I connect myself with, it will accent me well, and I will accent it well, And so that was a piece of information that I never took a hold to. But what I will say is that it is so important that she has the intellect, and I stick with that because the mind is what really matters. Everything else will go away. No matter how well of the family it is, you have to have an intimacy with that particular person. And I'm believing, and I'm thankful. I can speak for myself. I'm grateful for where I am in life. I was blessed to be able to find favor. Hallelujah! Thank you, God. Not only in the physical. Come on here. Not only in the physical, but intellectually, and it works very well.
Praise God, you preaching. If it's favor means it's good.
Right.
It look good, it talk good, it walk good, it smell good. That's what favor is. So sometimes I had to wonder: is this favor or was it favor?
Oh yeah. But here it go. Because me and Rodney looking at the comments, my sister Kim is letting y'all have it right now. She says some of y'all is ugly too. But then she said she's good for other areas in his life. And Sissy, yes, you are right.
Yes,
That's what I was getting at. She might not be the appealing to everybody, but what she brings to the table is what matters. And excuse me, I don't think everybody has that same mindset that it's what you bring to the table. Well, the two men at the bottom of my screen, I'm for sure. I ain't gonna say nothing about this person in this black and white T-shirt. But it's like Pastor said, man. It's what's in the mind that matters the most, man. Because if she don't have a right mind, if she's not in the right frame of mind, she can actually damage your ministry.
Yep.
She can actually damage you publicly.
Yep.
And she can damage you privately.
Yep.
She can damage you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. So no, it's not all about looks. However, when you turn over and her breath is hot and funky and it's smelling like day-old greens and day-old cabbage, you definitely that's not of God. Her breath needs the sovereign God. You want to be able to say, Lord, she fine though. Lord, she fine. Her breath hot, but she fine.
That's that grace and mercy right there.
It ain't Shia. Grace, hey, has brought her through.
You need to take it back too.
But listen, though, I wanted to know. Like I said, I was playing the David advocate, but I wanted to know that because just like women say we choosy, women are choosy as well, and sometimes they can miss their blessing because we don't look like what they want us to look like, and we could be the best thing for them, but because we ain't what they think we should be, they look over us too.
Ronald said she can be fine in body, but her spirit is ugly as homemade soap. Bro, who making homemade soap? And if you got time to make homemade soap, yes, that homemade soap is ugly. Okay, man. So this is my last question, man, and then we're gonna part out of here. So I want everybody to answer this one question. And Candace hit on it a little bit, but I wanted to hit on this question this way. So this is the last question for everybody. Why are men set in their ways when it comes to loving a woman?
I'll stab at it first. I don't know if we set in our ways when it comes to loving a woman, but men are a creature of habit. And for a lot of us, it was never modeled in our homes. And because it was never modeled in our homes, we didn't have the blueprint. So a lot of us are making our own blueprints. And some of our blueprints might have faults, and some of our blueprints might have areas where we need to go retouch and reshape up and things of that nature. So I don't think it's not that we don't want to do it, but sometimes we can only do what was modeled to us or for us or before us. So it's good to find men that are in successful relationships, that have been in those relationships, and to see what they're doing so we can model it ourselves, because we are man of creatures. So once we see something modeled, we tend to do it. It's almost like playing football. In order to play on a Sunday, you go and practice throughout the week, and then on Sunday you go and go do it. But a lot of us don't go do it because we never seen how to do it. We never had the playbook for it. But I believe once we get the playbook for it, we change. We tend to change our approach to it.
Rodney, you want to hit it, or you want the pastor to go ahead? You know what, Rodney, go ahead. No, Rodney, go ahead. Rodney, go ahead, because I know you got something. I feel it in your shondo. Go ahead.
Why are men so set in their ways when it comes to loving a woman? I think, and just piggybacking on my man Victor here, if a man typically is going to model the love that he had in his house growing up or lack thereof. Keeping it real, I didn't have a father figure in my life, so I didn't get taught what to do. I got taught what not to do. You see what I'm saying? And so once I learned what not to do, what to do came real easy for me. So I'm old school. I believe, as a man, I'm supposed to take care of my woman. I'm supposed to love my woman. I'm old school to the fact of, if she want to have a job, then her money is her money. I'm going to take care of the house. I'm going to take care of her car payment, her gas, her oil changes. At school like that because I seen my mama struggle. So my wife ain't gonna have to struggle like I've seen other women struggle. People tease me all the time. Even today, I cooked a meal today, and I try to cook every Sunday, just trying different things. But anyway, because I'm to the point where if I love you, I love hard, and because I love hard, I expect you to love me as hard as I'm loving you. And I'm gonna ride with you. I mean, I'm down. I'm gonna get on my knees and pray with you. I'm gonna get up and fight with you. Whatever you fighting, we fighting together. That's just my view, because I feel like that's what it is. Some things men and women are gonna be equal with. Other things they're not gonna be equal with. Even when I go grocery shopping, I tell the young ladies sometimes they ring me up or take, Publix, they take your stuff out to your car. And I tell them, I'm not going to let you lift as a young lady or as a woman. I'm not going to let you lift anything I wouldn't want my mama or my wife to lift. And that's just me. And that's all around. That ain't me putting on. That ain't me, because of this show. That's who I am. And so because that's who I am, it's hard when you get set in your ways like that, because what happens when the woman uses a man like me over and over and over and over again? Then he tends to shut down. So, I'm not shut down. I'm saying other men would tend to be shut down.
Reverend?
I ditto with what the two other gentlemen have stated in front of us. But I also look at it from the standpoint of the question was why men are set in their ways. I think it comes from me. It's a form of dominance, and I may get in trouble for using that word, but it is what it is. You know, I'm set in my way because I like my way, and if you don't like my way, you know the way. You know, yeah. And so I feel that, you know, once we learn something that works, you know, we stick with it. We tend to stick with it, and also it's an opportunity for that person who you're extending that love to either say, yes, this is what's working, or yes, this is not what's working, you know, and we can go from there and make the necessary adjustments. But I really believe, you know, that's the manly thing to do, to set the standard. And if they don't, I'm getting tangled up in that, and I don't want to offend, you know, but I mean, it just is what it is. You know, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm set in my way. I like what I like, and what I don't, I don't.
And it is what it is. Let me say this, and I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Yes, we are set in our ways, but to be able to have a successful relationship, we need to realize that life change, things change,
Some
people
stuff,
change. Well, some stuff and some stuff might not change, but when you're looking at talking about having success in marriage and in life with your spouse, I thank God for the 5 love languages,
yeah,
because it helps a man really find the true essence of himself, and it also helps him find the true essence of the woman that he's married to. It gives him, there you go. It gives you a playbook to go by, so you can learn and understand yourself, so you can be able to tell her, hey baby, I know you think giving me words of affirmation is what I need, but I really need you to, pay this bill this week, or I really need you to, be able to when I'm in need, be able to do what I need, not give me the words of encouragement so I can have to do it. I need you to know my love language just like you want me to know your love language, because I might be trying to shower you with Tiffany, and all you need is a baby. I love that meal that you cooked. It was good as ever. I don't know what season
Come
and
on, sir.
spices you didn't put in it, but it was different from the last meal you made. And I'm just thankful that you are willing to sit in the kitchen after you get off of work to cook for our house. Lord Jesus, man, you know what? I'm so done.
He got the Holy, did he? The Holy Ghost, did he?
So yes, I might be set in my ways, and yes, I might be like my dad or the man of old, and just that grunt to show I love you. But nowadays, man, with the way the world is evolving, we have to evolve with it, or we'll get lost, or we'll get left behind. One of the two. But that's it, man. I ain't gonna go because I can keep going. Man, I appreciate all y'all coming in. Pastor, you ain't get a chance to introduce yourself, so I'm gonna let you do that before we get out of here. Let the people know who you are, because you've been talking, but don't nobody know who you are.
okay, all right. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Once again, I have thoroughly enjoyed myself tonight. Such a great panel of great, energetic men, as well as the two young women that were on tonight. I am Pastor Brandon Lamar Thornton. I am an itinerant elder in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. I currently pastor St. Paul AME Church here in the town of Hurtsboro, Alabama. I've been serving there since for the past 6 years, and I'm just grateful to be able to share on this platform tonight.
Man, I want to thank you guys for coming on, man, and enjoying this little hour or so with me, man. You guys could have been anywhere else doing something else with somebody else, and although some of us was somewhere else doing something else, we're glad that everybody made it
I was
to the
working.
show. To the show, I wasn't even talking. Well, yeah, you too, but hey, you see how quick he bust out laughing because he know I was talking to him.
Hey,
He
Coach,
knew good.
My
hey,
wife
Coach, let me
said,
say
"Amen."
this. Hey, let me say this. I'm Methodist, and so is he. So we do believe in being on time.
Amen.
So don't let that don't let that change your opinion on us good old Methodists. All right.
I know that's right.
Don't tell them I'm a pastor. Don't tell them I'm a pastor. Don't.
Hey, no, we good because I'm just laughing because he was on people's head talking about be on time in the dang on chat today, and then he was late coming in like and then his earpiece was popping like some Orville Redenbacher and stuff, so we had to get that together. But man, like I said, man, you guys could have been anywhere else doing something else, man, with somebody else, man. But I'm glad that you took the time out to join me, the ladies, Miss Candace and Coach E, on this wonderful, was supposed to be a Mind of a Man show, but somehow this plot twist got me all twisted and stuff. I don't have to talk to them because I'm about to do a plot twist myself. No, don't even come on. Stay off. Stay off. Well, I'm about to leave the show. I'm leaving the show, man. Look, man, this is me signing off here for the Mind of a Man. I am him, him am I. I will be forever always Coach J Hart, man. Thank you guys once again for coming on. Everybody who tuned in, thank you guys. All the comments that y'all shared. Thank you. If y'all somewhere and you can like and share this, man, please make sure. You know what, Richard? You just hated. You just a hater because you wasn't on this show. Oh, Mind of a Pretzel Twisted Man. Such a hater. Just such a hater. Anyway, man. Once again, I thank y'all, man, and I'm going to ask our dear Pastor Reverend to go ahead and close us out with a word of prayer, and we can definitely be dismissed. Pastor Lamar, that's you.
Oh, okay. Let us pray.
Like all of us are pastors. Okay.
I was like, okay. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this time of sharing tonight. God, what a wonderful way to conclude our evening, oh God, than to be able to fellowship with young brothers, oh God. We thank you right now, oh God, for those who have watched and gave in their comments, oh God, in this conversation. God, we ask tonight, oh God, that you watch over our minds, oh God. Keep our minds stayed on you. God, help us to be better men. God, help us to be strong. Help us to be wise. Help us to always be vigilant, oh God, and keep us safe, oh God. God, we just thank you right now for this platform. God, we thank you right now for each and every person, oh God, that comes together, oh God, each week, oh God, to make this happen. And we're just grateful for them. God, now as we are preparing to leave this session, oh, tonight, oh God, we ask right now that you would just keep us, oh God. It is these and so many other things we ask it all in your darling son, Jesus' name. Declare it be so by saying amen.
Amen.
Man.
So before we all go, I want everybody to give a small word of encouragement to everybody that was listening and all the ones that will be listening on love. Yes, Rodney, you can go first.
I knew I was something in my spirit was like, Coach gonna say me go first. Small word of encouragement on love. Off the cuff, love is patient, love is kind. So if your love ain't patient and your love ain't kind, it's not love.
I would say that love is probably the hardest thing to do in life because we realize there's so many different ways that people want to be loved. And it's not impossible to love, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there to love.
I would say that love is not a feeling nor an emotion, but love is definitely a choice that you make daily. So I ask each and every one of you, as you move forward each day, make the choice to love.
And I'll wrap it up by saying, my little brother Jay, You are a hater. We all did bow our heads while he was praying. You just mad because you ain't on this show. and I'm going to say, as I always say, man, learn and love your truth. You got to be truthful with yourself about where you are, who you are, and the things that's going on in your life. If you can't be truthful with yourself with those three things, your love will never be truthful because without knowing the truth of you, man, how can you honestly truly love your neighbor? So, with that being said, man, I love you guys, man. Peace and blessings to you all, and we are out of here.